Deep in the constellation, Corona Borealis, lies something that astronomers initially refused to believe. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall represents the single largest structure ever discovered in the observable universe, stretching an incomprehensible 10 billion light-years from end to end. To put that distance into perspective, light itself, traveling at the fastest speed possible in our universe, would need 10 billion years to cross this cosmic monstrosity. That's nearly 3/4 of the entire age of the universe. This structure is so vast that if you could somehow travel at light speed and started your journey when the first stars began forming, you still wouldn't reach the other side today. Scientists discovered this impossible wall by studying gamma-ray bursts, those brilliant flashes that mark the violent deaths of massive stars. These cosmic explosions are among the most energetic events in the universe, visible from billions of light-years away. When researchers mapped the locations of these bursts, they noticed something disturbing. Instead of being randomly distributed across space as expected, they were clustered together in a specific region, revealing the outline of something that shouldn't exist. What they found was a wall of galaxies, a cosmic fence stretching across space with no regard for the laws that govern how matter should be distributed throughout the universe. According to our current understanding of cosmic evolution, the universe simply didn't have enough time after the Big Bang for gravity to pull together such an enormous structure. The process would require far more time than has actually elapsed since the beginning of everything. This Great Wall consists of countless billions of galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, planets, and solar systems. The total amount of matter involved is so staggering that it challenges our fundamental assumptions about how the cosmic web formed and evolved. If you could somehow view this structure from outside our universe, every galaxy we've ever studied would appear as nothing more than microscopic dust specks scattered across its surface. The existence of the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall forces scientists to confront uncomfortable possibilities. Either our understanding of cosmic evolution is fundamentally flawed, or we're witnessing something that formed through processes we haven't discovered yet. Some researchers suggest it might be an optical illusion created by the way light travels through curved space-time, but the evidence continues to point towards something genuinely massive and genuinely impossible. Moving deeper into our catalogue of cosmic impossibilities, we encounter something even more disturbing than structures that are simply too large. We find objects that are too massive, too dense, and too powerful to exist according to the known laws of physics. Floating in the darkness roughly 10 billion light-years from Earth lurks a monster that makes every black hole we've previously discovered look like a pebble next to a mountain. This cosmic predator goes by the designation TON 618, and it represents everything terrifying about the universe concentrated into a single point of infinite darkness. Black holes form when massive stars collapse under their own gravity, creating objects so dense that not even light can escape their gravitational pull. The largest stellar black holes we've observed contain maybe 50 times the mass of our Sun. TON 618 contains 66 billion times the mass of our Sun, making it the most massive black hole ever discovered, and something that shouldn't be able to exist. The event horizon of this monster, the boundary beyond which nothing can escape, stretches nearly 400 billion kilometers across. That's larger than the orbit of Neptune around our Sun. If our entire solar system somehow fell toward TON 618, it would disappear without the black hole even noticing. The gravitational forces involved are so extreme, they warp space and time in ways that challenge our understanding of reality itself. Scientists first detected this cosmic leviathan because of the brilliant light it generates while feeding. As matter spirals toward the black hole, it heats up to millions of degrees and glows brighter than entire galaxies. This feeding frenzy creates what astronomers call a quasar, and TON 618 produces one of the brightest quasars ever observed. The light we see from this cosmic furnace began its journey when the universe was less than a quarter of its current age. What makes TON 618 particularly unsettling is that we have no idea how something this massive could have formed. The most generous estimates suggest that even under perfect conditions, with unlimited fuel and billions of years to feed, a black hole shouldn't be able to grow this large. The physics simply don't work. Yet there it sits in the depths of space, quietly consuming everything within its reach and growing heavier every second. This impossible object forces us to consider possibilities that make rational scientists uncomfortable. Perhaps black holes can form through mechanisms we haven't discovered yet. Maybe the early universe operated under different rules that allowed such monsters to emerge. Or possibly we're witnessing something so ancient and alien that our current physics are inadequate to explain it. The third member of our impossible collection takes us into the realm of cosmic architecture so vast and organized that it seems almost deliberately constructed. Deep in space, stretching across 4 billion light-years, lies a chain of 73 quasars, arranged in a pattern that defies everything we know about how the universe distributes matter. This structure, known as the Huge Large Quasar Group, represents one of the most organized arrangements of cosmic objects ever discovered. Quasars are the brilliant cores of galaxies powered by supermassive black holes, and they typically appear scattered randomly across the universe. But these 73 cosmic lighthouses are connected by invisible threads of gravity, forming a single coherent structure that spans distances so large they break the fundamental principles of cosmology. According to Einstein's cosmological principle, the universe should look roughly the same everywhere when viewed on large scales. This principle forms the foundation of our understanding of cosmic evolution and structure formation. The Huge Large Quasar Group violates this principle so dramatically that some scientists argue it shouldn't exist at all. If you could somehow step outside the universe and observe this cosmic chain, it would appear as a glowing bridge of fire stretching across the void, connecting billions of galaxies in a pattern too organized to be random chance. The mathematical probability of such an arrangement occurring naturally is so small that it forces us to question whether we understand anything about how cosmic structures form and evolve. Structures form and evolve. This discovery forced astronomers to reconsider everything they thought they knew about cosmic organization. Some researchers suggested renaming it the Cosmic Leviathan, while others argued that its existence meant we were fundamentally misunderstanding how matter clusters together across vast distances. The implications are staggering, because if something this organized can exist naturally, what other impossible structures might be hiding in the depths of space, waiting to shatter our next theoretical breakthrough? Our fourth impossible object brings us face to face with cosmic violence on a scale that defies comprehension. Located 5.7 billion light-years away in the constellation Phoenix, we find a monstrous collection of over 1,000 galaxies, swimming in a sea of superheated gas so hot, it glows with deadly radiation. The Phoenix cluster earned its name not just from the constellation where it resides, but from what it actually does. This cosmic furnace undergoes a constant cycle of death and rebirth that breaks every rule about how galaxy clusters should behave. At its heart lurks a supermassive black hole that devours material faster than almost any other known cosmic predator, shooting out jets of energy so powerful they heat the surrounding gas to hundreds of millions of degrees. What makes this cluster truly impossible is the rate at which it creates new stars. While our entire Milky Way galaxy produces maybe 1 or 2 new stars each year, the Phoenix cluster cranks out 500 new suns annually. That's hundreds of times faster than anything we've ever observed, a rate so extreme it shouldn't be sustainable according to our understanding of stellar formation. The total mass of this cosmic monster equals 1 quadrillion suns. That number is so large it becomes meaningless to human comprehension. If you could somehow gather all the matter in our solar system, including the sun, all the planets, every moon and asteroid, You'd need to repeat that process a quadrillion times to match what's contained within this single cluster. The cluster exists in a state of perpetual cosmic warfare. Gas clouds collapse under their own gravity, forming new stars at breakneck speed, while the central black hole simultaneously blasts out energy that should prevent star formation entirely. It's a cosmic paradox that challenges everything we know about how these massive structures evolve and maintain themselves across billions of years. Moving toward our fifth impossible discovery, we encounter something that redefines the very concept of size when applied to galaxies. Floating roughly 1 billion light-years away in the constellation Virgo sits the undisputed heavyweight champion of all known galaxies, a cosmic empire called IC1101 that makes our home galaxy look like a village compared to a sprawling metropolis. This galactic monster spans 6 million light-years from edge to edge. To put that in perspective, you could line up 60 Milky Way galaxies side by side and still have room left over within IC1101's boundaries. The galaxy contains an estimated 100 trillion stars, each potentially hosting planetary systems that might harbour life forms we can't even imagine. Standing on a planet within IC1101 would provide a night sky unlike anything we could experience from Earth. The heavens would blaze with the light of countless nearby stars, so densely packed that true darkness would never fall. The sky would be a tapestry of stellar light stretching in every direction, a cosmic cathedral of fire that would make our own modest view of the Milky Way seem almost empty by comparison. Astronomers believe IC1101 achieved its impossible size through cosmic cannibalism, systematically devouring smaller galaxies over billions of years. Like a gravitational predator, it consumed everything within reach, growing larger and more massive with each cosmic meal, until it became the galactic titan we observe today. But here's where the story takes a haunting turn. Despite its incredible size and stellar population, IC1101 appears to be dying. Most of its stars are ancient red giants, slowly burning through their final reserves of nuclear fuel. Very little new star formation occurs within its boundaries, suggesting this cosmic giant may be entering its twilight years. It's like witnessing a once thriving civilization slowly fading into darkness, its lights dimming one by one across the vast reaches of space. The sixth impossible object in our catalogue takes us to a discovery so massive it actually affects the motion of our own galaxy from hundreds of millions of light-years away. Deep in the constellation, Centaurus lies a gravitational empire called the Shapley supercluster, containing over 8,000 galaxies arranged in a cosmic web that stretches 650 million light-years across. What makes this supercluster particularly unsettling is its density. Unlike most regions of the universe, where matter is distributed relatively evenly, the Shapley supercluster is concentrated, bright, and impossibly heavy. Its gravitational influence is so strong that it actually pulls on the local group of galaxies that contains our Milky Way, affecting our cosmic trajectory even across such vast distances. Inside this supercluster, dozens of smaller galaxy clusters orbit around central gravitational cores, creating a cosmic dance of unimaginable complexity. Each cluster contains hundreds of individual galaxies, and together they form rivers of light flowing through the darkness in patterns that suggest the universe has an underlying architecture we're only beginning to glimpse. Recent research suggests the Shapley supercluster might be the most massive single structure ever discovered, part of an even larger system called the Laniakea supercluster that includes our own cosmic neighborhood. This means that our home galaxy belongs to the same vast gravitational web as this impossible cosmic empire, connected by forces that operate across scales so large they challenge our ability to comprehend them. Our seventh cosmic impossibility brings us to something that exists primarily in wavelengths invisible to human eyes, yet represents one of the largest single objects ever discovered. Hidden in the darkness of space, Nearly invisible to optical telescopes, lurks a sleeping giant called Alcyonius that stretches 16.3 million light-years from end to end. This radio galaxy earned its place in our catalogue not through visible light, but through the ghostly radio emissions that reveal its true extent. At its heart sits a supermassive black hole that launches jets of plasma at nearly the speed of light, creating enormous lobes of radio energy that drift through space for millions of years, like cosmic wings spreading across eternity. What makes Alcyonius truly impossible is that it achieved this incredible size without any obvious reason. It doesn't sit in an especially dense region of space where it could easily gather fuel. Its central black hole isn't unusually active compared to others we've studied. By all rights, this galaxy should be unremarkable, yet somehow it grew to become one of the largest single objects in the known universe. The radio lobes extending from Alcyonius contain clouds of magnetized plasma that have been drifting through intergalactic space for hundreds of millions of years. These invisible wings stretch so far that they dwarf entire galaxy clusters, yet remain completely hidden from human vision. You could stare at that region of sky for your entire lifetime and never suspect that one of the universe's greatest structures was floating there, whispering secrets in wavelengths only our machines can detect. This silent titan challenges our understanding of how galaxies can grow and evolve over cosmic time. If something this enormous can develop without obvious sources of fuel or energy, what other invisible giants might be lurking in the radio spectrum, waiting to be discovered by future generations of astronomers equipped with more sensitive instruments? The eighth member of our impossible collection takes us into territory that makes scientists question the very randomness they thought governed cosmic events. In 2015, astronomers discovered 9 gamma-ray bursts arranged in what appeared to be a perfect ring stretching 5.6 billion light-years across the universe. Gamma-ray bursts represent the most violent explosions known to occur in nature, produced when massive stars collapse or when neutron stars collide with devastating force. These cosmic detonations release more energy in seconds than our sun will produce over its entire 10 billion year lifetime. They're supposed to appear randomly scattered across the universe, following no particular pattern or organization. But these 9 bursts formed a near-perfect circular arrangement in space, creating what researchers call the giant GRB ring. The precision of this cosmic geometry defies every statistical model of how such explosive events should distribute themselves across the universe. The mathematical probability of 9 random explosions naturally arranging themselves in such an organized pattern approaches 0. Some scientists theorize this ring might represent a remnant from the early universe, perhaps a ripple in space-time left over from the Big Bang itself. Others suggest it could be part of an even larger structure, so massive that we're only seeing a tiny cross-section of its true extent. Either possibility challenges our fundamental assumptions about how matter and energy organize themselves on the largest scales. The giant GRB ring forces us to confront the possibility that the universe might contain patterns and structures operating according to principles we haven't discovered yet. If cosmic explosions can arrange themselves in geometric formations, what other hidden architectures might be written in the stars, waiting for us to develop the tools and theories necessary to recognize them? Our 9th impossible discovery brings us home in the most unsettling way possible, revealing that even our own cosmic neighborhood participates in structures so vast they redefine what we mean by the word neighborhood. The Laniakea supercluster, discovered in 2014, contains over 100,000 galaxies flowing together in a coordinated cosmic dance across 520 million light-years of space. What makes Laniakea particularly disturbing is that we're inside it, drifting along with this vast river of galaxies without ever realizing the true scale of the current carrying us forward. Our Milky Way, along with all the neighboring galaxies we can see in our night sky, represents just one tiny eddy in this cosmic stream, pulled along by gravitational forces so immense they operate on scales we can barely measure. The discovery of Laniakea revealed that galactic motion isn't random or chaotic as previously thought, but follows organized patterns determined by the distribution of matter across hundreds of millions of light years. We're all participants in a cosmic choreography so vast and slow that entire civilizations could rise and fall without noticing the underlying movement carrying them through space. Standing within Laniakea, we're forced to confront a reality that makes human existence feel simultaneously insignificant and miraculous. Every star we've ever wished upon, every constellation we've used for navigation, every galaxy we've studied through our most powerful telescopes, all belong to this single flowing structure that carries us through the void at speeds we can't perceive, toward destinations we can't predict. The gravitational forces that bind Laniakea together are so subtle yet so powerful that they bend light itself as it travels through our cosmic neighborhood. We're living inside a structure so massive that it warps the fabric of space-time around us, yet we only discovered its existence in the past decade because we lack the tools to map galactic motion on such enormous scales. This revelation transforms our understanding of cosmic citizenship. We're not just residents of Earth, or citizens of the solar system, or even inhabitants of the Milky Way. We're participants in a gravitational empire that spans distances so vast they make our planet look like a single atom floating in an ocean. The cosmic address of every human who has ever lived extends far beyond anything our ancestors could have imagined. Our final impossible object brings us to the ultimate boundary of everything we can observe, measure, or even theoretically detect. The observable universe itself represents the most mind-shattering structure on our list, not because of any single property, but because of what its existence implies about the nature of reality itself. Stretching 93 billion light-years from edge to edge, the observable universe contains everything humanity has ever seen, studied, or dreamed about. Within this cosmic sphere float approximately 2 trillion galaxies, each hosting hundreds of billions of stars, creating a total stellar population that exceeds the number of grains of sand on every beach on Earth by factors that render such comparisons meaningless. But here's what makes the observable universe truly impossible to comprehend. It's not actually the full universe. It's just the portion we can detect because light from those regions has had enough time to reach us since the Big Bang occurred 13.8 billion years ago. Beyond the edge of our observable bubble lies an infinity we cannot access, cannot measure, and cannot even prove exists. Yet logic demands must be there. Every time we peer deeper into space with more powerful telescopes, we're actually looking further back in time, observing ancient galaxies as they appeared billions of years ago when the universe was young and chaotic. The most distant objects we can detect show us cosmic infancy, regions where the first stars were just beginning to ignite and the fundamental structures of reality were still taking shape. This temporal archaeology reveals something profoundly disturbing about our place in existence. We're not just small in terms of space, we're insignificant in terms of time. The light reaching our telescopes tonight began its journey long before Earth existed, carrying information about cosmic events that occurred when the universe bore no resemblance to the structured reality we inhabit today. The observable universe forces us to confront the ultimate impossibility. We exist as conscious beings capable of contemplating infinity while simultaneously being trapped within the most finite of circumstances. We're made from atoms forged in the nuclear furnaces of ancient stars, assembled into patterns complex enough to achieve self-awareness, yet confined to a single planet orbiting an ordinary star in an unremarkable galaxy, floating within structures so vast they dwarf our comprehension. What makes this final entry truly impossible isn't its size or its age or its complexity. It's the fact that somewhere within this cosmic immensity, matter organized itself in such an improbable way that it became capable of looking back at itself and asking questions about its own existence. The universe achieved consciousness through us, creating observers capable of measuring its dimensions, calculating its age, and marveling at its impossible beauty. Standing at the edge of everything we can know, we're confronted with the most unsettling possibility of all. If these 10 impossible objects can exist within the small fraction of reality we're able to observe, what unimaginable structures and phenomena might be lurking in the infinite darkness beyond our detection? What cosmic leviathans drift through regions of space so distant that their light will never reach us? What impossible architectures span distances so vast that the entire observable universe would appear as a single point within their boundaries? The mathematics of infinity suggests that beyond our cosmic horizon, reality continues expanding in ways that make our most impossible discoveries look mundane by comparison. Structures that would dwarf the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, black holes that would make TON 618 appear microscopic, arrangements of matter so organized they would make the giant GRB ring look like random coincidence. Each impossible object we've encountered tonight represents a crack in our understanding of reality, a glimpse through the facade of cosmic order into something far stranger and more wonderful than our theories can accommodate. They remind us that the universe doesn't operate according to human logic or comfort zones. It simply is, in all its impossible glory, indifferent to our equations and unconcerned with our attempts to categorize and explain its mysteries. These cosmic impossibilities serve as humble reminders that we're still in the earliest stages of understanding the reality we inhabit. Every breakthrough in astronomy reveals new layers of complexity that make previous discoveries look simple by comparison. Every answer we uncover generates dozens of new questions that push the boundaries of physics into uncharted territory. The existence of these 10 impossible objects suggests that impossibility itself might be more possible than we ever dared imagine. They challenge us to expand our definition of what can exist, what can form, and what can persist across the vast scales of cosmic time and space. They force us to acknowledge that the universe is far stranger, far more creative, and far more mysterious than our limited human perspective allows us to fully appreciate. Perhaps most importantly, these impossible structures remind us that we exist within a reality so rich with wonder that even our most advanced instruments and sophisticated theories can barely scratch its surface. We're cosmic archaeologists working with primitive tools, trying to understand an artifact so complex and ancient that we may never fully decipher its secrets. Yet somehow, against all odds, and despite our limitations, we continue to push forward, driven by an inexplicable curiosity to understand our place in this impossible universe. We build bigger telescopes, develop more sensitive instruments, and refine our theories, always hoping the next discovery will finally provide the answers we seek. But each breakthrough only reveals new layers of mystery, new impossible objects that shouldn't exist but do, new questions that challenge everything we thought we knew about the cosmos we call home. We thought we knew about the cosmos we call home. The journey through these cosmic impossibilities leaves us standing at the precipice of human knowledge, staring into an abyss of questions that may never find answers. These 10 structures represent more than astronomical curiosities or statistical anomalies. They're evidence of a universe that operates according to rules we haven't discovered yet, following patterns too complex for our current understanding to decipher. What unites every impossible object we've encountered isn't just their violation of known physics. It's the systematic way they challenge our most fundamental assumptions about reality, from the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall that shouldn't have had time to form, to TON 618 that grew too massive too quickly, to the giant GRB ring that arranged itself with impossible precision. Each discovery forces scientists to confront the uncomfortable possibility that we've been wrong about how the universe actually works. The pattern becomes clear when you step back and examine these anomalies collectively. They suggest that cosmic evolution doesn't follow the neat, predictable processes our textbooks describe. Instead, the universe appears capable of creating structures through mechanisms we haven't identified, following organizational principles that remain hidden from our most sophisticated instruments and advanced mathematical models. This revelation carries profound implications for everything we think we know about cosmic history. If these impossible objects exist today, what other violations of natural law occurred during the universe's early epochs when conditions were even more extreme? What structures formed and dissolved during the cosmic dark ages before the first stars ignited? What architectural marvels might have existed during the universe's infancy that we'll never be able to observe because their light can never reach us? The existence of these cosmic impossibilities also raises disturbing questions about the nature of discovery itself. How many other impossible structures are floating through the darkness right now, waiting for us to develop the technology necessary to detect them? How many violations of physics are occurring beyond the edge of our observational capabilities? How many times have we looked directly at something impossible without recognizing what we were seeing? Consider the unsettling possibility that impossibility might be the norm rather than the exception. Perhaps the universe we think we understand represents only the most mundane, predictable fraction of reality. Maybe the cosmic structures that conform to our theories are actually the anomalies, while the impossible objects we've discovered tonight represent glimpses of how the universe typically operates beyond our limited perspective. This perspective transforms our understanding of scientific progress entirely. We're not gradually approaching a complete understanding of cosmic reality. Instead, we're uncovering evidence that reality is far more complex, creative, and fundamentally alien than we ever suspected. Each impossible discovery doesn't bring us closer to final answers. It reveals new layers of mystery that expand our appreciation for how little we actually comprehend. The mathematical implications alone are staggering. If structures like the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall can exist despite violating our models of cosmic evolution, what does that say about the reliability of our equations? If black holes like TON 618 can achieve masses that shouldn't be possible, how confident can we be in our understanding of gravitational physics? If patterns like the giant GRB ring can emerge from supposedly random events, what other hidden orders might be operating throughout the universe? These questions push us toward a humbling realization. The impossible objects we've encountered tonight might not be impossible at all. They might simply represent normal cosmic phenomena operating according to principles we haven't discovered yet. Our surprise at their existence says more about the limitations of human knowledge than it does about any genuine violation of natural law. This shift in perspective opens up possibilities that are simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. If the universe can create structures that break our current understanding of physics, what other capabilities might it possess? What other forms of organization, complexity, and beauty might exist beyond our ability to detect or comprehend? What cosmic architectures might be unfolding around us right now that we lack the conceptual framework to recognize? The answer to these questions may lie in developing entirely new approaches to understanding reality. Traditional astronomy relies on detecting electromagnetic radiation from distant objects, but these impossible structures suggest that the universe might contain phenomena that don't emit light in ways we can measure. Perhaps the most significant cosmic structures exist in dimensions we can't access or operate through forces we haven't identified. Future generations of scientists may look back at our current understanding of the universe the way we now view medieval maps that placed dragons at the edges of known territory. Those ancient cartographers weren't being superstitious when they marked unexplored regions with warnings about monsters. They were acknowledging their limitations and admitting that unknown territories might contain things beyond their ability to understand or categorize. The 10 impossible objects we've explored tonight serve as modern dragons, marking the boundaries of human knowledge and warning us that the unexplored regions of cosmic reality contain phenomena that challenge everything we believe about the nature of existence. They remind us that the universe is under no obligation to conform to human logic or operate within the constraints of our mathematical models. Perhaps the most profound lesson these cosmic impossibilities teach us is that wonder itself might be the most appropriate response to reality. Instead of being frustrated by our inability to explain these structures, maybe we should celebrate their existence as evidence that the universe is far more interesting and creative than we ever dared hope. They prove that reality contains depths of complexity and beauty that will keep future generations of explorers busy for millennia to come. The cosmos has revealed 10 impossible objects that shouldn't exist but do. Tomorrow, it will undoubtedly reveal more. Each new discovery will challenge our theories, expand our horizons, and remind us that we're participants in a reality so vast and mysterious that impossibility itself becomes just another word for the limits of human imagination. Standing here at the edge of everything we can observe, surrounded by impossible structures that dwarf our comprehension, we're forced to confront the most beautiful impossibility of all. Somehow, in this vast cosmos filled with objects that shouldn't exist, matter organized itself in such an improbable way that it became capable of contemplating its own impossibility. We exist as conscious observers in a universe that consistently exceeds our wildest expectations, armed with curiosity, powerful enough to push against the boundaries of the impossible, and discover that reality is always stranger and more wonderful than we ever dared believe. These cosmic impossibilities aren't just objects floating in space. They're invitations to expand our understanding, challenges to develop new ways of thinking about reality, and reminders that the universe will always be more mysterious and magnificent than our theories can capture. They prove that impossibility is just another horizon waiting to be crossed by minds brave enough to question everything they think they know about the cosmos we call home. These 10 cosmic anomalies prove that the universe operates by rules we haven't written yet. Every impossible structure we've encountered tonight represents evidence that reality is far stranger, more creative, and infinitely more mysterious than our equations dare suggest. They remind us that we're explorers at the very beginning of understanding a cosmos that will always exceed our wildest imagination. The next time you look up at the night sky, remember that floating somewhere in that darkness are objects so impossible they shouldn't exist, yet they do, waiting to challenge everything we think we know about home.